Um, Good evening, miss. Hope you're having a good night. It's great to hear. But I'm just here to show you my brand new how do you call it, streaming setup for my presentations. Bit of a seminar, but I kind of like it. Look sophisticated, up with the times. But it's pretty nice. Pretty. I got some computers here for my presenting. But, in the words of the immortal Nenny Basenga, how are you? How are you? Great quote. Nenny Basenga, wise guy. All right, let's get started with influential leader Vladimir Zelensky by Trevor Ng. For you, Miss Erin Stokes. Yeah, I think I spelled it right, personally. But so we're gonna start us off here, the national anthem, and you know, you and me, we got parents, relatives who serve in the armed forces. So I just find it very important to remember their sacrifice. X remote. Well, you heard them. I feel like that's the exact one they play on the fuck. What the heck? Why is it still going? Oh no. That the game? What the heck? Okay. We got some minor. Oh, oh, we skipped to the Ukrainian national anthem. It seems. Uh, we're just gonna stand. You can stand too. Stand. The big man, the Ukrainian national anthem. Great. I hold great respect for the Ukrainians. They're great guys. That's actually what I'm talking about. But I'll cease talking over their most prized song and just let you listen. All right, I think it's ending now. I'll just shut that off. If you had a good listening, no, I don't wanna. I don't wanna listen to this one again. But we're gonna get back to the presentation here. We're gonna stay relevant and on topic here with an indigenous land acknowledgement. So, I think we should acknowledge that the land we stand on, the land where we gather, is the traditional unceded territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe people. Uh, we do pay respect to their elders, of course, past and present, and cultural. their spiritual connections, of course. Um, and I'd also like to recognize the contributions of other Indigenous people who have lived here, warred. Indigenous people, they did a lot of fighting back in the day, of course. But, we are, as the people, as we learn and grow together, we are committed to the principles of truth and reconciliation, to a building respectful and mutually beneficial relationships with all Indigenous people. So I actually wrote that myself. I'm lying. I took that. I think I took that from the OCSB website. I had my own flair to it, of course. But I actually am Indigenous. I'm Chinese on my mom's side. I think you met her. But the other half of me is like quarter Indigenous. I think probably. I'm part of the Indigenous club. That's good enough. They let me in. So with that being said, we'll cut right to the chase here. So here's a quote that I said. Yeah, I got a new headshot. Headshot I got from last year. I got a new one. But so this quote, it's definitely from me. Let's see if the camera can focus. But it essentially says, "We are hurtling back into a Soviet abyss, into an information vacuum that spells death from our own ignorance." Think about that. So that quote, it came from me and not some Soviet guy, but it's a pretty good quote. And we'll head back on topic here. Actually, head back on topic. Here's a bio, short and concise. That's how I like it, of course. But Vladimir Zelenskyy is the president of Ukraine. He was born in '78 in Ukraine. I want to say like Pripyat, Kryvyi. Close enough. But for the office, he was actually a famous actor and comedian. Before taking office, he actually okay, I gotta turn that one down. But yeah, I was saying he was actually starring in a TV show where he actually acted as the president. And think about that. Think about it. So, and I want to say 2018, he won his election in a bit of a landslide. He was anti-corruption on a pro-unity platform because the previous president of Ukraine was very pro-Russia, and most people of Ukraine saw him as a puppet to Vladimir Putin, and they didn't like him very much. So, being said, but the main challenge of his presidency was, of course, the invasion, the probably illegal invasion of Ukraine by Russia, and of course the COVID-19 pandemic, as with all nations, definitely. But onto his human right record. Well, as of current, Zelensky is currently he's defending the human rights of his Ukrainian citizens with lethal force, of course. But he has stated in a direct quote, but we are defending the ability for a person to live in the modern world. It's a wise quote. Essentially, he's saying, TV shut off. He's essentially saying that it's he and Ukraine are defending the very concepts of human rights. He's not just defending the rights of Ukrainian people. He's defending the human rights of all people in the world when he takes up arms against an oppressor such as Russia and Vladimir Putin. In 2022, Russia invaded the country of Ukraine. He presides over that, of course. And Russia doesn't have a very good history regarding humanitarian actions. I know they're very anti-LGBTQ, IA, B. I think there's another Q in there. Um, yeah, he's very, very anti-LGBTQ plus. Of course, they have a history of massacres. The Holodomor, Ukrainian. Some dub the Ukrainian Holocaust. Was that by? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was by Russia. But they they did help at first in the Holocaust, actually, because before they like declared war, they actually Russia and Nazi Germany, they like teamed up on Poland. They split Poland in half, essentially. So Naturally, Russia at first cooperates with Nazi Germany and sends them over some Jews, because they don't need them. They don't need them. Uh, Joseph Stalin, not a good guy, caused a lot of famines. Yeah, I'm sure you know a lot about Joseph Stalin. Yeah, they got deportations, of course. Notable one of which happens in, what's it called? It's uh, I remember there's something about them, the Soviet old Russia, where they deported the native residents for to immigrate in like pure blood Russian residents, and they put all the natives into like the slums of their big cities. It's kind of like what's happening in Saudi Arabia recently, right? So Saudi Arabia is building this like ginormous city. It's like all in a line. It's like futuristic, but they have to get the land for it, right? So they like fucking eviscerate a bunch of native villagers and like evict them, deport them, whatever you call it. And technically not deportation, so they're not moving them from the country, but you get what I'm saying. It's not good. But, so these human rights abuses, they are generally frowned upon by the international community. Of course, UN. They don't particularly like Russia very much. It's part of the Security Council, Russia, but they find themselves at a lot of sanctions, a lot of condemnation, strongly worded emails. That's one. Uh, so as such, Zelensky responded to those massacres of Ukrainian uh, citizens on his soil by fighting back, using nothing but the willpower of his people, the courageousness of his soldiers, and a cool 154 billion American tax dollars. That's very important. They got fit in a couple Tomahawk cruise missiles, a couple dozen M1 Abrams, a couple Leopard C8s, all the tanks that Jacob likes, of course, an F-35 maybe. It's very dark. Yeah, next slide. So here's my explanation onto why exactly I chose President Zelensky. So I chose him because it's an ongoing scenario, right? This isn't something in a history book, right? Where I go on the Wikipedia for Mahatma Gandhi and go, hey, this Encyclopedia Britannica guide says this guy is a pretty cool stuff. No, you gotta go boots on the ground research for Vladimir Zelensky and some of his escapades to say, and some of the challenges that the Ukrainian people have been facing have been all across Twitter. Of course, I remember reading on Twitter. It was on Twitter. It's like on, I want to say like Reddit, probably on Reddit, but basically these Wagner group are like Russian paramilitary forces, right? So they get hired by Russia to go and like conquer Ukraine, essentially. But this Wagner Group commander is instructed by his generals to just slaughter every civilian he sees in the villages that he's conquering. Just told up front, like do a war crime. Like they didn't even do that in Nam. Like My Lai, that was just a commander, a relatively low ranking commander, saying that we don't know which ones are Viet Cong, the VC on the trail. So let's just shoot them now. Wagner Group, these guys get commands from up top, from like Ministry of Defense, Russia, straight from the Kremlin to commit war crimes. It's not like a judgment call based on like whatever the lieutenant's feeling at the time. No, it's a systemic issue. But Zelensky, he is personally on the front lines for fighting for human rights against the face of such tough adversity as Mother Russia, the former Soviet Union, one of the second largest military in the world, second largest land mass in the world. I think they have a pretty powerful economy still. It's losing to China, but China number one, of course. But yeah, and he's personally fighting for human rights in the face of adversity, and he's bringing civil rights as well to his people that are being oppressed. Once they fight back against the occupiers, they reoccupy their space, and then they reintroduce civil rights, freedom of speech. I'm sure, as you know, freedom of speech is not exactly a given in Russia. Freedom of the press, that's certainly not. It's something we take for granted in Canada, definitely. There's not a lot of independent news outlets. Only independent news outlets in Russia are like Twitter and Telegram. I wouldn't go on Telegram because I'm not a terrorist, but I go on Twitter because I like getting in arguments with strangers, essentially. But yep, it's the person who, yeah, he's fighting for human rights now at this moment. He's like, if I had to guess what Vladimir Zelensky's doing right now, I'd say he's probably like in bed. It's like GMT +7 right now. Yeah, he's probably in bed, but hope he gets a good night rest, sleep dreams, sweet dreams. Vladimir Zelensky. Yeah, so I'd like to begin with intermission. Um, it's still by Trevor Ng, of course, with mild assistance from 3,000 black jets of Zelensky. I saw it in a dream. So, essentially, um, this don't come free. Of course, this segment of the presentation is brought to you by Crest Trade. So, in the words of Malia Sloan, facts, 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 facts. Slay. And, God damn it. To comply with Canada's bilingual requirements, I will now be doing this entire presentation in French. Yeah. So, you heard the big guy. That was the national anthem. It's gonna play again. Um, just we going to start off with the land acknowledgement, of course. reconnaissance des territoires traditionnels à Toronto. Nous reconnaissons que la terre sur laquelle nous réunissons est le territoire traditionnel des nombreuses nations, notamment les Mississaugas de credit, les Anishinaabe, les Algonquin, uh, les Onos, holy heck, that's a lot of vowels. Hone, Hod, Nosuni, et Wenda, elle abrite maintenant de nombreux peuples diversifiés des Premières Nations, des Inuits et des Métis. Nous reconnaissons également que Toronto est couvert par le traité 13 avec Mississaugas. Do credit. I want you to be able to see that. That's real. That's Vladimir Zelensky. How the heck do I get this in fucking focus? How do I get this in heck in focus? I do apologize for my profanity, but it's Vladimir Zelensky. You can see it on the. I don't care. Should probably wrap this up. It's probably like 5 hours. But Vladimir Zelensky, il est président de l'Ukraine. Il est né en 1978 à Kryvyi en Ukraine. Avant le bureau, il était un comédien et acteur qui a joué dans une émission de télévision où il était le président. Il a, il a remporté une élection écrasante pour la présidence avec une plateforme anti-corruption et pro-unité. Le principal défi de sa présidence est la pandémie de COVID-19. COVID-19 est l'invasion de l'Ukraine par la Russie. Real. Zelensky is currently defending human rights. I forgot to translate this part. I'm just gonna assume. Zelensky est currently défendant les human rights del native ukrainien de citizens. Il est parlé. We are defending the ability for a person to live in the modern world. En 2022, Russia a invaded le country de Ukraine, which the president over. Russia is on history of massacre. Oui, j'ai just parlé. The World War II, of course. But, he is frowned upon by the international community. As such, Big Man Z, he responds to these massacres on his soil by fighting back, seeing nothing but the willpower dans la people, the courageousness of US soldiers, and a couple dozen French Denault fighter jets, the French-made Leopard C8, and a couple $1 million of Ukrainian tax dollars from France. I do hope the people of France they will not protest. They will not protest. They do enjoy the good riot. I've noticed that. The explanation. J'ai utilisé le président Zelensky comme l'affaire de son pays en matière des droits de l'homme ont été tumultueuses et en constante évolution. Il doit personnellement le se battre pour les droits de l'homme face l'adversité et apporter des droits civils à son peuple qui est opprimé par les forces de occupation. C'est une personne qui, contrairement à d'autres cas célébrés de droits de l'homme, se bat pour les droits de l'homme en ce moment plutôt que dans le passé dans un manuel d'histoire. Et c'est qui m'y captive. It's my Barbie TV. I got it at Value Village for like $15. It's sweet. I think there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 7 laptops here, including the one I'm filming on. I think I have another. No, the other one I have is my mom's. I don't want. She's like doing like report cards on it. I've got another TV right here. There's another TV. You see that one? There's another TV right behind the laptop that I'm filming this on. I've got like a lot of TVs. I own a lot of stuff, don't I? That's interesting. Very, very interesting. Yep. So with that, I got a DVD signed by Steve-O too. But with that, fini. Le end. Mon homie. It's by Trevor Ng. Endorsed by I am endorsed by Councilman David Hill of Barhaven West, and by award-winning journalist Vincenzo Calla. He follows me on Twitter, and of course I am endorsed by the late great Robbie Ford, the Fresh. They took the wrong Ford, man. What can I say? It was the GOAT. He's just like me. He was just like me, for real. But of course, I am actually endorsed by top charting bands, Sierra Pilot. They're from Waterloo. They're a great band. I saw them in concert. I got a picture with them. I got like 2 of their CDs. They're autographed by the whole band. Well, actually, like missing one member is the guy was having like diarrhea. So the lead vocalist Taylor Keith, I think. I don't know. The lead vocalist sort of forged his signature. That was pretty neat. Of course, I am endorsed by the Black Hole Bears. If you don't know who the Black Hole Bears, they're the greatest rock band, greatest indie folk band, I'd say, in all of Denton, Texas, a small town in Texas. But yeah, I emailed the guy. He's a pretty cool dude. He gave me a free T-shirt through the mail. It's like in the mail, like somewhere in Toronto, maybe on a plane. Who knows? But fini, the end. Right. I'll see you. tomorrow. Well, probably tomorrow. Depends on when you grade this. But yeah. But don't gotta fucking knock all this goddamn cardboard boxes over. How the heck do I stop it?